Hey, what's up, guys? Toogie here, back again. And today, the Buffalo Bills find themselves back in the playoffs. We take on the Cincinnati Bengals in the wild card. In this episode, we go through our postseason journey, no matter how long it lasts. If it's a shorter journey and it ends sooner than we hope, we may as well head towards the draft as well, at least to get through free agency. So with that said, you guys pretty much know what the lineup is. The one downside, of course, is the injury on defense. We're going to have to rely on Clayton Malone and Shaq Lawson to carry the weight. At least Clayton Malone has turned into a very solid option. So we should hopefully be able to overcome that injury. In the meantime, let's take a look at what we are going up against in the form of the Cincinnati Bengals. Mike Bauer is their quarterback, who was one of the guys we passed on, the rookie with quick development. I think we may have made the right choice to not go up to get him. Time will tell, but a battle of the rookie quarterbacks as Andy Dalton is down to a 76. Running back is Joe Mixon at an 84. Wide receiver-wise, A.J. Green is still there, but from there, it's a little bit weaker. That's definitely a beatable core on paper. You'd like to think that our corners could do a job in this game. Tyler Eifert at an 84, leading the way there. They have Watts Paul at left tackle. Nico Siragusa is a little bit of a weak spot at left guard. Billy Price is okay. John Miller, not that great. And Eric Flowers, definitely not that great. So not a strong offensive line by any stretch of the imagination. They have Rashad Russell. Carl Lawson is going to be a dangerous player to deal with. And Geno Atkins, still at an 80. Is solid, so not the best defensive line we've seen. An old face there in Shane Ray on the outside, Preston Brown, and Vontez Burfict. You haven't been run out of the league yet? Damn. Secondary is looking okay, at least in terms of William Jackson being there. I mean, we have a better team. That's not debatable. We have a better team in most aspects after looking at their squad, yet we finished with identical records. None of that matters heading into this game. And as you can see, the game agrees with me. We have a 10 overall point advantage in this game, yet we are the road team. This needs to be a win. This is our best chance yet to find success. You look at the loss to Houston, that was a bit more of an even matchup. 10 overall point advantage as a team. An 86 against a 76. We need to win this game. We need to find ourselves in the next round. Anything short of that is failure. This is a must-win game, or we really have to... I'm not going to say reconsider what we're doing here, but perhaps a different approach, different playbooks, different schemes, although there is that debate, of course, of how much they matter, as opposed to, just setting it up to make sure you get the most return out of it. Regardless, we're not going to look at this from the worst-case scenario yet. We still have a chance. This game's just beginning, after all. So let's do this. Through the first quarter we go. Who will draw first blood? And the answer is the Buffalo Bills. 3 points, and that is it. For the first quarter, a couple of possession changes, to say the least. Ended up being a 45-yard field goal for Jake Elliott. To halftime we go. Make it 6-0. Can Cincy get on the board? The answer is no. 6-0 at halftime. A defensive battle through the first half an hour of play. 6-0. That's certainly not what I was expecting or hoping for, but we do have the lead. Will that continue? Let's find out. Through the third we go, and this game could change so quickly. 12-0 Bills, and that is the score at the end of the third. 12-0 thus far. Let's take a look at how that went down. It ended up being a 2-yard rushing touchdown for Kareem Hunt. We failed on the 2-point conversion, which is not the first time I've said that this season. Let's see how this goes down. I don't want to jinx anything, of course. I really don't. But our defense has had perhaps their best game of the season thus far. We know our defensive struggles. We know how talented our offense is, as it looks like we're going to have to settle for a field goal here. And indeed we are. 36 yards for Elliott. Let's just go ahead and hit end of game, but we'll keep it on normal to see how this goes down. Jordan Poyer, a good break up there. 15-0 with 12 minutes to go. 23-yard play for Cincinnati. We got this. Hopefully 10 yards for James Rodriguez. Not ideal. 3rd and 1. 9 yards for Rodriguez. They're to the 26. Make it the 18. A couple of big plays for Bauer and the Bengals here. They're on the 13. Loss of 3 from Mixon. It'll be 2nd and 13. Loss of 2. Big 3rd down here. 3rd and 15. And they're forced to throw it away. They should settle for the field goal, and they do. So since he finally gets on the board with 8:55 to go in this game, it's 15-3. And we start off this drive with a 22-yard pass to Kareem Hunt. Ellis Hollier takes away some of the yardage. 1st and 15, and Burfict knocks that one down. 2nd down, a pass is thrown away. Big 3rd down here. We're going to be shy of the 1st down. We weren't able to waste that much time either. And needless to say, the pressure is on the defense to show up. 8 yards for Mixon. Just keeping an eye on that clock. Denard Buckley. Huge play there for the 3rd stringer, but A.J. Green, 26 yards. Gets them right back in it. 2nd down and 5 yards for Tyler Eifert. 3rd and 5. And a big 4th down here. Are they going to punt? 1st and 5. What the hell are you on about? 4th and 10. And they get a 20-yard play. This game is so weird sometimes. Since he still has possession, Gardner Johnson with a massive penalty. They're on the 16 with 4 minutes to go. Can we shut them down in the red zone yet again? Oh my God, big 4th down here. Mixon not able to get anything going, and there we go. The defense holds up. I should have watched that play, but I was enthralled at what I was seeing. The defense holds up, and that should do it. A couple of big yardage plays, some penalties, gave them the chance, but when we needed the defense to hold on, they did. They shut the door. A huge stop on 4th down, and that should do it. 4th and 3 will be forced to punt. They'll start at their 20 with 1:05 to go. 8 yards for Green. They are out of timeouts, and they're going to run out of time. The Buffalo Bills walk into Cincinnati. The defense was nearly perfect. The Bills have a victory in the postseason. Oh my God. It took year after year after year, but we have finally done it. We have a victory in the playoffs, the battle of the rookie quarterbacks. In the end, it wasn't the most impressive victory. For a 10 overall point difference, you'd like to think we could put up more than 15 points, but at the very least, the key here is that our defense showed up and got the job done. It wasn't a great game for Erickson by any stretch of the imagination, nor for Mike Bauer. They both looked like the rookie quarterbacks that they are. Kareem Hunt had a pretty solid day. Jericho and Kang also had a very strong game. Devontae Adams looked great, 9 receptions on the day. No receiving touchdowns, of course. Blocking-wise, and Kang gave up the only sack, so the O-line held up. Defensively, Shazier led the way. Couple of sacks in this game, and the 2 interceptions, both for Mike Hilton. Jake Elliott, 3 of 3, and that was enough to get the job done. The Bills are on their way to the 2nd round. We have been waiting so long to be able to say that a 15-3 victory over the Bengals. We're off to the divisional round. 1 win down, 3 to go. 25% of the way there. Who's it going to be in the divisional round? It's going to be Jacksonville. They finished at 10-6 on the season. Hunt was the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. We have player upgrades as well. Let's take a look. Poyer and Engelberger. Not bad. So Poyer will make you better at zone, just to kind of balance you out a little bit. Interesting that he has an upgrade point kind of this late in his career, 30 years old. And then Engelberger, a depth option, will make you a little bit better at the power game. So nice to see like I said, a pretty well-defined depth option get an upgrade points. So with that said, let's take a look at what we're up against in the form of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're not one and done. This season, we have a second postseason game to play. So here we go. Quarterback, Clayton Thorson. Second-year pro, 78 overall, so we have the advantage in terms of quarterbacks. Running back-wise, though, we do not have the advantage. One of the rare occasions where we won't. Leonard Fournette's a 95. Absolutely ridiculous. Wide receiver-wise as well, in terms of top-end talent, they have the advantage, perhaps. Dede Westbrook and Marquise Lee both up there, so the wide receiver battle is going to be very interesting. Tight end-wise, we have the advantage in terms of depth, but Safarian Jenkins is hardly a pushover. As far as the offensive line goes, we have a 76, a 92, a 90, a 77, and a 68. So opposite ends of the spectrum, where Centef is fine, but you have Jordan Mills on the same O-line as Brandon Lindner and Andrew Norwell. So figure that one out. Carl Nassib at left end. Right end is Ngakoué, would it be? Ngakoué. We're going to call him Guac. Yannick Guac. I'm joking. Malik Jackson's still there as well. Dontari Poe. So their defense is still quite solid. Miles Jack is there. We're going to have trouble. Oh, my God. Okay, so there's no question as to why they are where they currently are. Their defense is phenomenal. Can a rookie quarterback overcome that defense? That I do not know, but we are about to find out. I mean, it's not as if our defense is any kind of pushover. So, by the way, for the rest of the matchups, the Rams beat the Seahawks, the Texans beat the Chiefs, and the Cowboys beat the Packers, which means, of course, we play Jacksonville. The Texans are playing the Patriots, Cowboys, Giants, Rams, and Falcons in the NFC. Here we go. Let's get this going. Game 2, the divisional round. We're on the road yet again. We only have a 1 overall point advantage. This could go either way. We have the slight edge in quarterback. They have the slight edge running back wise. And the rest of it, I mean, it might be a toss-up. Wide receiver-wise, both have strong options. Offensive line, they have the higher-end guys, but we probably have the more well-rounded. Defensively, you know, it's not that big of a difference. We might have a slight edge in terms of the defensive line, but they get it back with the linebackers and the secondary. Then again, secondary-wise, we have better safeties, but they have elite corners. Not as if we don't have Tre'Davious White, though. I do not know how this is going to go. And they have Miles Jack, but we have Ryan Shazier. I do not know how this is going to go. I'm anxious to find out, though. Let's do this. Second round, through the first quarter we go. Who will get on the board first? Foist. The answer is Jacksonville. 7-0 Jags at the end of the first quarter. It was a 19-yard touchdown pass to Marquise Lee. Let's get to halftime. Can we get back into this? 14-0 Jacksonville. We respond. 17-7, 17-14, 24-14. Certainly a different story from our defense this time out. It's a 39-yard touchdown pass. I can't talk today. It's not offensive if it's a mistake. We respond with a 62-yard rushing touchdown for Kareem Hunt, but unfortunately the defense continued to struggle. They hit a 43-yard field goal. We bounce back with a 1-yard touchdown for Nkang. They bounce back with a pick 6 from Miles Jack, and that is the difference maker right now. 10-point game heading in to the third quarter. Let's see what we can do. Can we lead the comeback? 24-21. And that's where it stands. All right, the only points of the third quarter. Jacksonville, though, in scoring range. It ended up being an 11-yard touchdown pass to Kareem Hunt. Here we go. First things first, can we stop this drive by Jacksonville? That is the hope. If we can limit them to a field goal, we're in a much better spot. And there it goes. Hollowell with a 6-yard touchdown pass. 31-21 Jags. We have our work cut out for us here. Needless to say, the pressure's on in this drive, and that is a god-awful start. So we lose 8 yards. 3rd and 18 coming up. and we get a first down. Cooper Kupp, 25 yards. And they lose Boye, I believe it is, and an interception by Cherry. Oh, boy. You know, Hanson Erickson, at the very least, oh, my God. Yep. Penalties, interceptions, touchdown, Jenkins. At the very least, we have a playoff win under our belt. But there's levels to this game, as they say. And barring a miraculous comeback here, we have let them get way too far ahead. 3rd and 10, yeah. We just don't have it right now. Despite some of the changes to the offense, we're just not able... Oh, my God. We're just not able to overcome this defense, and our defense hasn't shown up. So we handled a weak Cincinnati offense... But then we come up against Jacksonville. They have some game changers on offense, and they absolutely showed up. It was a very close game at one point, and then an interception to begin this fourth quarter. Pretty much sealed the deal. We'll see this out, but how disappointing. How disappointing. It would be the comeback of all comebacks at this point. We are marching down the field. Can we finish out this drive? Ball on the 2. Touchdown Kareem Hunt. 45-29. We get the 2-point conversion. 5.5 to go. It's not over technically, but needless to say, we need our defense to shut them down. That 10-yard penalty will help. That 5-yard penalty will help. Okay, I mean, if they get a first down out of this situation, then we don't deserve to win anyway. 7-yard rush for Campbell. 3rd and 21, and there we go. I mean, there's 3.5 minutes left. We're screwed. But at least make the score close. Kind of show that, yeah, it was close at one point, and then we just slipped on a banana peel and let it go, because that's what the Bills do in the playoffs. It's like, oh my God, we're finally going to get it. And then she pulls the football out from underneath Charlie Brown's feet. It's pretty much the best analogy I have, is to go with the Charlie Brown comparison. As we fail on 4th down, and that will do it. 45-29 is the final score. It looked like, as Houston will meet Jacksonville, it looked like there was going to be an outside chance of a little bit of drama down the stretch, and unfortunately, our defense just did not show up. 21-8 in terms of scoring in that fourth quarter. And the second our defense had to face somebody competent, they crumbled. Allowing 4 passing touchdowns by a 78 overall Clayton Thorson, you're not going to win in that way. Hunt and Fournette had one hell of a duel, but unfortunately, the defense just could not get the job done today. Couple of penalties down the stretch. I'm looking at you, Artie Burns. The interception by Erickson, or from Erickson, and just... It's tough, because I'm wanting to view this as a positive in that, you know, we won a game, and I'm happy about that. But just the way that we lost, we're better than that. We really are. I'm going to try to re-sign McDermott. I'm going to try to re-sign everybody for that matter. We are better than what that loss was. We really are. We should have had a better performance than that, especially on defense. And it's concerning, as Kareem Hunt was actually the AFC Offensive Player of the Week for that week too. It's concerning when, you know, guys like Poyer are getting a little bit older. So we'll take a look at the Pro Bowl roster. Do we have any representatives? We do. Kareem Hunt and Erickson made it as the second quarterback, which is pretty nice, behind Deshaun Watson. Hunt was ahead of Fournette and McCaffrey, which is crazy. Who else do we have here? Eric Ebron made it, second tight end behind Rob Gronkowski. Don't believe I've missed anybody yet. I might have. Fowler Jr. made it as the second right end. Clayton Malone made it as the third defensive tackle. Shazier made it as the second middle linebacker. Not a bad season. Jake Elliott as the number 1 kicker. Not a bad season. A step forward, but it still ends in disappointment as the Super Bowl 55 between the Giants and Jags. So again, does it make us feel any better that the team that we lost to has gone to the Super Bowl? Will it make us feel any better if they win? Knowing that we lost to the best team, but also knowing that we could have done something. We could have been better. That's needless to say. You know, particularly the defense could have had a much brighter performance, as the defensive line might not be scouted as much as I'd like. Again, not having an O-line scout really screwed me over in terms of points, but I deemed that more necessary than the defensive line. So we'll see what we're able to do here in the final few weeks of scouting. Super Bowl, place your bets, Giants or Jags. I'm going to go with the Jags, just knowing how good their defense is. Is that the case? Yes, it is. 24-21, Jacksonville wins the Super Bowl. So there you go. We do end up losing to the eventual Super Bowl champions. Does it make you feel any better? I'm honestly not sure how I feel about it. I could have sworn I hit league schedule, but okay. Let's take a look here. So it ended up being Jacksonville 25-21 over Houston, and the Giants beat the Rams 28-17. That is how it all played out. So just like that, we're already at the point where we have to look to move forward, unfortunately. Taywan Taylor, we brought him and Trent Taylor in just as depth for this season. We're going to let both of them go. Parker Evans was depth. Jordan Watkins and Dixon Osbury were all just depth options, so we got no reason to bring any of them back. So at least we don't have to worry about that. The one thing I will do, though, again, I don't think we'll get to the draft in this episode. We might. It depends on how the offseason goes. But let's take a look at your old draft stories. So Donde DeMar as a safety. Not bad. And Ray Peel as well. We'll see how that goes, though. A couple of names to keep an eye out on. So we are good to advance to week 1 of free agency. The majority of our roster is still together, which is nice. And we have $10 million of space. Okay. So the first step here, for me at least, is going to be to take a look at the rest of the roster that we currently have. Of course, as we have technically $23 million in cap room, but we do need to save up for, potential rookie signings. Which, again, we have a first, 2 seconds, a couple of thirds as well. So it's going to be a pretty big draft for us. Quarterback-wise, we know we're good. Like, getting rid of Diaz isn't going to help us. Kareem Hunt's not going anywhere. There's really no major money to be saved there. Basically, I'm looking to see is there anybody worth getting rid of to save a ton of money? Like Keelan Cole, but we still kind of need him for the moment. Ebron's not going anywhere. Stemke Weeks, like Engelberger, we could cut a decent amount. Ryan Kelly would be a guy to ditch, for sure. He's not going to take a starting job from anybody. So I'd say Ryan Kelly, who we picked up in the Josh Allen trade, just for some decent depth in case someone like Dawkins went down. We're going to look to move him out already. Actually, defensive tackle, we're good. Allen's not going anywhere. I want him and Malone to be a 1-2 punch for the moment. There is a chance Jonathan Allen could get dealt if someone else improves. You have Shaq Lawson making what he's making. Shazier there. Could ditch Milano, technically. Got Potter, Young. I think maybe ditching Matt Milano as well might not be the worst idea. And then Artie Burns, but you kind of, I want to say you get what you pay for. He's quality, but obviously he took a very rough penalty down the stretch. But he is our best option by far. An Employer and Hyde. So I'd say those are the main two worth moving on from. We'll see if we can find anybody that's interested. Hopefully not the Bengals. I'd prefer an NFC team. And the Cardinals work, in fairness. So let's see. Draft pick wise, let's just aim for the wow, okay. Well, I thought that was going to be too much. So we get a first and a fourth for Kelly and Milano. I could have added even more to that, but to be honest, when you saw that, a first and a fourth, you're probably thinking, that's not going to go through. It did. It did. So, at the end of the day, we get an extra first and free up a little bit more money. So I'll take that, I guess. Who is available? We only have $10 million in cap room, though, so it didn't take a magical effect, but those were two players that could have gone anyway. Quarterback-wise, Andrew Luck's there. Lamar Jackson's here, which he still has quick development, but he's 25. I'd rather stick with Hanson Erickson. I think Hanson Erickson, within 3 years, can go up 3 overall points. It's probably a pretty safe assumption. So yeah, we're good to go. Josh Rosen there. Obviously Andrew Luck running back wise. Of course, we're good to go. Kareem Hunt's here. Fullback wise, we're also good to go with McCray. Wide out, nobody really there. I mean, we already have someone like Keelan Cole, same level as Pettis, Sutton, Gallup, so nobody there for us either. Tight ends, we're good. Nobody there. The offensive line is going to be the interesting one. Someone like Isaiah Wynn would be a phenomenal pickup for us. Is there anybody else, though, in terms of O-linemen? Richard Paxson and Lane Johnson. Okay, so there are a couple of offensive linemen I'd be interested in sending some big-time money offers to. Left outside linebacker, I mean, we have Worrell, so Hendrickson really isn't necessary. Tim Jernigan at defensive tackle. I mean, he's only 1 point better than Allen, and he's 2 years older, so that's not necessary. Taven Bryan, not necessary. Von Miller at 33. I mean, that would be interesting. That'd be interesting, but not overly necessary. Someone like Dylan Cole, McKinney, or Perryman would be an improvement over Coleclaw as the depth middle linebacker, but we can find somebody better. Bradley Chubb's there as well. Hell, we could sign Bradley Chubb and move someone over to middle linebacker if we had to. So right now, Casey Hayward, you're too old, Casey. I'm sorry, you are. You also have Mike Hughes, who could duel with Mike Hilton. Okay, I think the main thing to focus on here, for me at least, is those 2 veteran offensive linemen. There's clearly some other areas and other players that would be interesting to go after, mainly in the linebacker core, whether it be bringing in Von Miller, but that's not going to happen with that offer from the Dolphins. We can't outduel them. Middle linebacker, like just too much money being spent there. And then Bradley Chubb we might fight for. Corner-wise, like Casey Hayward on a 1-year deal might not be the worst, but we don't really need him. Like someone like a Mike Hughes to replace Mike Hilton could work. Could. And then safety-wise, we're pretty much good to go. So we're definitely going to look to focus here on Isaiah Wynn. Let's see, what's that base offer? 96. Yeah, it's going to be tough here. We're pretty much looking at being able to sign one guy if we're lucky. Trying to outbid like the Giants in this situation isn't going to be easy at all. We're looking at a $50+ million offer for Wynn. That's a 100-point deal. And then at right tackle with Lane Johnson, cheaper options heading his way. What would that be? That'd be a 53-point offer. Just makes me wonder if the trade that I sent through factors in at all. It might not. It's not as if I got rid of anybody that's all that important. I mean, certainly, considering we picked up an extra first-round pick, I'm fine with it. But obviously, it's factoring in rookies coming up. But there really wasn't anybody else I wanted to get rid of in the 20th and 21st picks now. I think I'm going to back out of that offer for Wynn and probably send it to Johnson and then just take it from there as far as if anyone declines. I mean, Wynn's 25. What's his development pattern? Star. Never mind. We'll stick with Wynn. Johnson's 32. So we'll see if we can get Isaiah Wynn. Let's go all in for him. We'll send him a little bit more money, especially too just to protect our new star quarterback. And we'll see what happens. That is our only offer through free agency. We've taken advantage of free agency quite consistently. Can we get Isaiah Wynn? No, we cannot. He declined as he signed elsewhere already. I'm going to guess he has. That is unfortunate. Yeah, he's gone. Where did he go? To New York. 103-point offer. They swooped in and took it. Lane Johnson's also off the board. Linebacker-wise, yeah, we're out of it. Okay, so we're not going to be signing a single free agent, so we will go to the draft. It's a little bit disappointing, but it's not as if we can't find what we need in the upcoming draft, We should be okay. I'm going to continue to scout out the secondary. Let's see if we can find any late steals. Normally I'd wait for those B grades, but with corners, it's a little bit different. And then from here, we have our linebackers scouted. So now it's pretty much just the defensive line and trying to scout out the top talent at the 3 positions. So we'll have a little bit of extra time to do that. A little bit disappointing that we weren't able to get somebody in free agency, but I'm not all that surprised, admittedly. So I'm intrigued to see if we can end this episode on a more positive note. Let's take a look at Keaho and Hawkins, Pollock as well. We have Skandrick and Rashad Newton. We'll focus on the second round talents now, and Norwell's a bit of a waste. We have a little bit more time to scout, but not much. Here we go. Let's see what we can do. Didn't think we'd get to the draft in this episode, but obviously we weren't as busy this time out in terms of free agency. I mean, like I said, whether it be the Kareem Hunts of the world, some of the other guys that we've picked up over the years, I expected it to be a tad bit more busy. It wasn't. In terms of 4th round talent, so we have all of our right ends scouted. And defensive tackle, we can't do anything else. So we did do pretty well. We're not going to have a fully accurate report on the majority of defensive linemen, but we did all right to make up for the fact, knowing that we had to waste so many points on the offensive line. Savon Miller went to the Dolphins for a monster offer. Duke Johnson, Casey Hayward to the Colts, Andrew Luck to the Steelers, Jernigan, oh my god, as if they needed any more help. Johnson went to the Bengals. That sucks. He went for pretty cheap too, but we had to go for the younger, more ideal option. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this draft goes for us. We have some room to make moves, which is always promising. And we'll see how this goes. The Eagles have the number 1 pick. We have the ability to trade up. What I'm going to do is what I always do. I'm going to pause it here. I'm going to go ahead and go through everything, pin everybody to my draft board that I think is worth drafting, and then we'll take it from there, and hopefully we don't have another Stover situation. So I'll be back in 1 moment. All right, guys, here we go. The draft board is sorted. We got everybody pinned that might actually be worth drafting. Again, quarterback-wise, if anybody slips, we'll take a look, but that's highly unlikely, especially with Olivier being quite highly ranked on the big board. Same with Ray Hillis as well. In terms of top talent that I'd be interested in, you have Randall Gardner, who's fucking rapid, but I'm not sure if he's worth trading up for necessarily. Yet again, I'm having those doubts of who's worth trading up for to get, even though we do have the assets to do so, because there are some decent players coming up in the middle portions of this draft, even the later portions. Someone like Russell Rutland might not be all that bad to get. Andrew Kruger as well is looking pretty damn solid. Dixon Winborn as a mid-first round center looks incredible. I don't know if he'd fall to us. Lewis Bush as well. We're pretty much looking like we'll get at least 1, maybe 2 solid options on the O-line. The one guy I'm interested in, though, is Denard Keaho, for obvious reasons. I wish he was a little bit younger, but holy shit. And talking about acquiring him, maybe moving a defensive tackle, moving some people around, the question is, how early is Keaho going to go? Rashad Newton's also not that bad, but there is a linebacker. In fairness, Spencer Shepard is looking pretty good. He's 24. He doesn't have that much room to get better, but he's looking like a beast. Sanchez Easy is also looking phenomenal. Like, there are some really good linebackers in this draft. Reed Peck is pretty solid. And then you would have seen Angelo Riley at the top of the big board. So some solid players all around. Keelan Marshall also not looking that bad in terms of a corner. Highest rated guy in this draft. You got Breon Boatwright. The big thing here, I actually forget where he is. I think he was a linebacker. Yeah, Walter Harvey. He's definitely a target. I've had some incredible luck with players who haven't taken part in the combine. Walter Harvey is definitely going to be a target in the second round, where we have the 24th and 25th picks. I might even trade up to get him. We shall see. So I'm a little bit worried about trading up here. I don't have a clear number 1. So I think what I might do is the normal strategy of maybe just sitting back, seeing how it plays out. That way, too, we don't have to commit a ton of money to someone that I'm not 100% set on. So let's go ahead and do so. Philly with the number 1 pick takes Newton, 81 defensive tackle. So we had a feeling he was going to be pretty good. New Orleans second up take Lewis Turner, the running back. 80 overall. Pittsburgh at 3 takes a 72 center. Whew, that's rough. Denver takes a 79 wide receiver, Tyler Herring, so not the number 1 guy that I had listed. And the Colts at 5 take quarterback Travis Wilcox. Okay, so the top 5 is done. You still have Riley, Olivier, Keaho on the board. Randall Gardner's up there. Very interesting. Sanchez easy. Of course, we got a while before we're on the board here. This might not be... You know, I think the fact... I really like Keaho. I really do. For obvious reasons. Again, I think I might look to make a move with Carolina. Olivier might be great, but we do have our quarterback for now. I think I'd prefer to just stick with Erickson. Olivier, though, at 22, he would have to be superstar for it to be worth it. And that's unlikely. Although if the overall was better, it'd be nice. Angelo Riley, again, looking pretty solid. But I think Keaho is pretty much can't miss. Hawkins is looking pretty damn good, too. Again, Gardner, rapid, very good deep route, solid release for a 22-year-old. Just wish he was a little bit taller. Like, again, that's not a Stover situation. Like, that's the thing. For him, he's got a good jump, but if he doesn't beat you flat out with his speed, he's going to have trouble, and that's going to lead to some interceptions on deep balls. Heath Burke as well, looking fucking great as a safety. I wish the vert jump was a little bit higher because he's only 6 foot, but he's looking like a monster as well. To be honest, getting Keaho and Burke could be huge for us. Even Sanchez easy, but remember, we got to be a little bit cautious here. We don't want to have to pay a shitload of money. So that's my thing. The way I see it is I can get one of Keaho, Burke, or Easy for the defense, and then we need that offensive line help with Winborn, Lewis Bush, Russell Rutland. So I'm thinking one O-lineman and someone on the defensive side of things, and the best guy on the defensive side of things is Keaho. Now, I could just say, okay, the last guys remaining are the ones that I want, but I'm really sold on Keaho. So offensively, I might just, let the AI decide for me and take the, trade up to get the last offensive lineman that's left. Whereas on the defensive side here, I could do that. But like I said, I think Keaho is, for obvious reasons, the real deal. And we've been quite timid over the past few seasons, not wanting to make a mistake and panic after missing out on Stover. So I'm feeling pretty good about the decision making this time out. So we'll use the 21st pick. And what do they need? Linebacker help, offensive line help. If I could flip them a weaker member of the offensive line, like a Scott Helfett, who missed all of this year while injured, that would be nice. So how close are we with this potential trade? Okay, I should be able to do this. We might actually be able to use Helfett to make this work, which would be great. How about a 5th? Is that enough? Yes, it is. Okay, so we use the 21st pick and Scott Helfett, who has been injured. He missed all of last season. We send him to Carolina, we get the 6th pick and a 5th round pick. So I'll take that trade every day of the week. We are on the board, and let's see if Denard Keaho is as good as he looks. We traded up to get him. Let's find out. I mean, obviously, 4th in true talent. We took him at 6. I'm so glad they fixed that. 81 overall, so he's an instant game changer, but he's only quick development. I was really hoping for star. But I don't think I regret that pick. Again, 4th in true talent. We take him at 6. Quick development, 81 overall. Big hitter as well. Yeah, only 82 hit power, but a big hitter, huh? I'll take it. He's not as big of a game changer as I was hoping for, but I don't regret trading up to get him as Dixon Winborn's off the board. So let me take another look here at the guys I was targeting on the offensive line. Let me know what you guys think. Did I make the right call? In hindsight, it might be a little bit easier to say, but what do you think? Russell Rutland, again, late 1st round time. Actually, let me take another look here at Yeah, Thompson's overruled. So Rutland is a late first-round talent. Really like him, though. The bench is a little bit weaker, but he is an agile option. Kruger, pretty well-rounded, too, as a pass protector out of USC. We might not have to trade up. So Rutland, Kruger. Who else do we have? Lewis Bush. Bush is the best option right now at 23. Okay. So Bush, Rutland, and Kruger. Bush would be the preferred option. I'd like to get him outside of the top 10. Let's see if we can do that. Sanchez Easy, 78 linebacker, goes to the Chargers. The Bears at 9 take Heath Burke, 80 safety. No real surprise. Let's see how long we can get away with this for. I know at least one of the 3 offensive linemen are going to be solid, but there's a clear number 1. And they took Rutland. Okay, that's not who I thought was going to go next among offensive linemen. Not at all. I thought it was going to be Lewis Bush. Who again is 23. Shit. All right, I'm going to jump here. I'm going to jump. Let's talk to Detroit. I liked Keaho. And I think Bush is the guy to get here too among offensive linemen. They do need O-line help as well. Man, Alan Richardson turned into a monster for them. So we'll use the 11th pick. We'll use our 20th. And again, you need right tackle. So offensive line help, corner help, a little bit of linebacker help. Let's see if we can use the offensive line yet again. What about someone like an Engelberger? How close are we? Well, I might have been able to get a little bit extra back. I honestly didn't expect that to go through. But I gave up a depth offensive lineman to move up 9 spots to get an offensive lineman. So I'm not dreading that decision at all. Might have been able to get an extra depth pick back. And that's why I normally safety net my trades and add too much just to see how close we are. But that works. And I'm going to take Lewis Bush out of Ole Miss. Again, 23 years old, but I feel pretty good about him. Let's see if my hunch is correct. I will take it. Number 1 in true talent. We got him at 11. 23 years old, 82 overall, quick development. That is such a massive help for the O-line. Lewis Bush. There we go. 91 strength starting. That's insane. Whew. All right, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I was a little bit disappointed in the defensive lineman that we moved to pick up because of the development, but Lewis Bush as well. Both are very solid. I'm very happy with this draft so far. Number 1 running back, Fisher Clark, goes to Oakland. Chadrick Thompson, the left tackle that I'm glad I avoided, to Tampa. Kruger was a 79, so we couldn't have really gone wrong with any of them, but I'm glad I jumped for who we jumped after. Randall Gardner, that wide receiver, is an 80. He goes to the Jets, so we're going to have to deal with him for a while. Let's hope I don't regret that. The Vikings get Boatwright, 81 safety, so a couple of really good safeties in this draft. Hillis, the other running back, 77, goes to Cleveland. Baltimore gets 78 Skandrick, defensive lineman. Washington takes Byram. Now, I was looking at Byram because he actually looked like a half-decent tight end, and there really haven't been that many in the draft. 80 overall to start for Byram. Good pickup for them. Detroit ends up taking Spencer Shepard, 80 outside linebacker. And the Panthers, with our former pick, take Hawkins, 78 left end. So we still would have gotten some decent players had we stayed. And time will tell if that was the right choice, but at the very least, we did not give up much to move up. Killian Marshall's off the board, 78 corner. Seahawks take Frank, 75 safety. Packers take Ben Dunn, 75 guard. Patriots at 26 take Polak, the left end, or Pollock. We have Dallas at 27. They take Canonico. Now, my question is whether or not the draft is really going to fall off in terms of quality. Curtis Graham's off the board. Houston at 29 takes Reed Peck, the middle linebacker. And actually, at this point, maybe I should have done this before the Reed Peck pick. Angela O'Reilly's still there. Olivier is still there as well. Very interesting. Who do we have on our draft board that's still available from first-round talent? Of course, for quarterbacks, Olivier, man. I don't know if he's worth trading up to get. I'm shocked he's still on the board. No running backs left. Wide receivers will take a look later on. Tight ends, I was hoping another guy would fall. In terms of offensive line help, there's some second-round talent still left. Let's see. Nobody left on the offensive line, so that's why I wanted to make the jump, because I knew the offensive line was a bit weak later on in the draft. And linebacker-wise, we still have Harvey, but Angelo Riley's still on the board too. And there's one good safety left. Right. The fact that Olivier is still there. Now, our second-round picks aren't until late, but we have extra picks that we could use to move up. I at least want to get into the second round. Let's see what happens. The Rams take 74 running back Washington, and the Giants take McCarron's 73 middle linebacker. Wow. Why is everyone avoiding Riley? Jacksonville takes a 68 running back. What is going on? Let's talk to Philly, man. Either these players are actually terrible, or I'm going to be getting a steal and a half here by going for these guys. It's going to be expensive in terms of bonus money, but I don't understand what the AI is doing here. So we'll use our later second that they don't have a ton of interest in, and they're looking for defensive help. Now, in terms of defensive help, we do have some options to move, including Jonathan Allen. That's the thing. Jonathan Allen is expendable now at this point, which is what I was thinking of, who I was thinking of using. They need linebacker help, though. What about Coleclaw? They have interest in Coleclaw. I'd be all right with using him because we're probably going to get a linebacker here. So what if I use a third? So a second and Coleclaw for a second and a third? Oh, yeah, we're going to be able to do this. We're not going to get the best draft pick back, but we're going to be able to do this. The wheeling and dealing will continue. There we go. So a second and Coleclaw for a second and a fifth. So we move up from the 57th to the 33rd, the first pick of the second round. And no doubt in my mind who we're taking here. I plan on making 3 third-round picks at least. I mean, Riley has to be the guy, but I'm so intrigued by Darren Oliveira out of LSU. Very intrigued. In terms of other wide receivers, by the way, we have Lindsley, who at 6'2", not overly fast, not overly agile. He's tall, but I'm not really sold on him at all. Ridgeway at 23, he's 6'5", ran a 4.5. Can't really jump, not overly agile. I'm not sold on him either as a possession receiver. Like, he's a good short route runner, but he's not, like, he's fast, but not that fast. He's agile, but not that agile. He's tall for someone that's 6'5". It's like, I imagine if you were to put him at tight end, he'd be pretty successful. Where I don't like Lindsley. He's not fast enough. He's not agile enough to make those hands worth it because he's not going to get open. Ridgeway and potentially moving him over to a tight end could work. And then Holloway is 6'6", ran a 4.5, has one hell of a jump and isn't that agile. So really moving Ridgeway or Holloway over to tight end could work, but in terms of like a true wideout, it's not looking that good. You also got Nash McDonald, who, I mean, I'd probably have more faith in the other two. Ashley Foster on the O-line, 23 years old. Not that agile, but relatively strong. He's not too bad, but not necessary. Broyles, relatively fast, relatively strong, not the most agile. Broyles isn't too bad. And he's pretty much the highest end option we'd have there. Just to double check back through to see our options. So Riley, let me take a look at Lambert. Not that fast, relatively agile. I mean, I know that I want Harvey. I think I want Angelo Riley at this point. In terms of corners, Riddick is the best left. At 6 foot, relatively fast. Can't really jump, though. He's fast and agile, but can't really jump, so I'm not really liking that. And then at safety, Dustin Fisher. 6'1", has a solid jump, 4'7". He's not bad, but I'm not sold on him more than the linebackers, and that's pretty much what I'm judging. Yeah, okay, I think I'm sold on what I want to do here. I'm gonna take Angelo Riley. The fact that he's fallen to this point is pretty ridiculous. And then again, we can use other linebackers to make deals. So Angelo Riley, I'm not sure why you've fallen this far, but I hope I'm going to be laughing to the bank by picking you here. And I'm laughing to the goddamn bank by picking you here. Oh my God, what the hell was everybody else doing? 80 overall, quick development, 22 years old, 6th in true talent. We got him at 33. Talk about a steal. Angelo Riley. Hits like a truck. Relatively solid acceleration, too. Jesus. All right. Well, that was a very easy decision, and I gotta be honest here. It's gonna be a tad bit expensive, but we're gonna be moving some more expensive players anyway. Let's keep this going, because for some reason these teams have just been botching the draft at this point. So let's try to use third round picks here to get close, because we do have plenty of them. And we'll see what we can do here. So 2 third-round picks. Can I just use picks outright? Probably not the best move. So offensive line help or linebacker help. Genther I want to keep, but he would be the right guy to use here. Or linebacker help. Marcus Young? Not really going to need you anymore. They don't want him, though. Or, okay, it still worked, though. So 2 third-round picks and Young to move up to the 34th pick. Again, the one thing I'm worried about right now is the bonus money. But we'll take that. And I gotta be honest, man, I might take Oliveira. I might. I can't believe he's still here. He was an early first-round talent, too. I want Oliveira, and I want the other linebacker who didn't participate in the combine. Walter Harvey. Where's Harvey? You know, I don't care where Harvey's projected to go. This is going to be expensive. I want them both. I'm taking Walter Harvey first. Projected as a late second rounder. I'm not taking the risk. He's 21. He didn't take part in the combine. I don't care. Walter Harvey, please. You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right. He's only a 74, but he's 21 with star development. I will take it. He's 79th in true talent. We took him at 34, so it's still considered a good pick, even though it's a bit of a reach. But star development at 21, I'll take it. We could have waited, but I didn't want to miss out on him. And it was pretty much guaranteed with him not participating in the combine that he was going to have good development. It was just a matter of whether or not his overall was going to be that high. So we just added 2 very strong linebackers, and my intrigue in that quarterback isn't going away. I know we have Hanson Erickson. I don't care. I mean, this guy could be something special. The fact that he's still on the board is outrageous. And you look at what happened with Riley, what could happen here? We're going to have to use a second. Let's use a fourth. Probably have to use a little bit more as well. But I'm willing to do it. Let's try a second, fourth, and fifth for the 35th pick in the draft. Probably going to have to use 2 fourth-round picks. Might even have to throw in a third if I don't want to throw in anybody else. Yeah, all right, let me see. Do I have another linebacker that I can throw in here? Because obviously we just picked up a couple of them. Potter, apparently not. Apparently not, because I doubt someone like Driver or Cohen's would be all that valuable. Well, Cohen's, we might be able to make it work. It's not like he hurt the value. Let's use a fourth. So a second, a fourth, and Cohen's? If I use a higher fourth or a low-end third, what do you think, Pittsburgh? There we go. This is the one I'm not so sure on. I knew that I wanted those 2 linebackers, but I'll be kicking myself forever if I let someone who is projected to be an early first rounder go in the second and have him be amazing. We already have Hanson Erickson, but Darren Oliveira could be great. Let's find out. Okay. You know, he's not that great. I mean, it's still a solid pick at the time. He's 34th in true talent. We took him at 35. He's a 76 at 22 with quick development. I had to know. We're going to be sticking with Hanson Erickson. Oliveira will probably be the backup for this season, and then we'll probably look to move on from him. But it was worth knowing. He's got a cannon for an arm. It was worth knowing, right? It was worth knowing. And maybe he goes up to star development. So Hanson Erickson's still going to be our dude moving forward. But it was worth knowing. And I have to pay the consequences for that, knowing that, okay, the extra money that has to go towards these rookies being drafted a little bit higher up, that's going to get expensive. So because of that, we are going to wait until the 3rd round, more than likely. Again, someone like an Ashley Foster was okay. Yeah, I think at this point we'll wait. We pretty much got everybody that we wanted. Yeah, so at this point, let's go ahead. Let's we'll slowly sim through the 2nd round here, see if there are any great picks that end up going, and then once the 3rd round hits, we'll just start going through. My God, whew, This might have been the right draft to trade up into, because the second round right now is looking rough. It's a goddamn minefield. You might find somebody good like Ridgeway in Detroit, but yeah, this is brutal. Mike McCann is the tight end. You know, let's just go to our next pick. Again, for the sake of saving a little bit of money, we had quite a few high-end draft picks. We find ourselves at the 20th pick of the third round, and we'll take it from here, as opposed to doing anything else. Let's play it safe with that bonus money. As Cooper's still there, but if the other guy wasn't that great, I can't imagine Cooper is, so we'll hold off. Ray Peel is a fullback. Let's see, Holmes? Denard Holmes, 6 foot. Not that fast, not that good. No. Just, I'm going to just flat out remove him from the list. Who else do we have as a third round talent? Ashley Foster's still there as a second round talent. Again, wasn't that agile, but relatively strong. That's not bad to still have him there. Right now, he's my favorite for this pick. Absolutely. Paul Ripkowski, not as if we need another linebacker. It's not bad. Not that fast, but agile and strong. It's not bad. At corner, Harrion. 6'1", 4'6", but yeah, he's not that fast, not that agile. He can jump. That's about it. I'm going to take him off the list. Okay, well, yeah, the decision's quite easy then. Ashley Foster out of Texas A&M just fell to us here in the third round after we took a little bit of a step back to try and save some money down the road. So Ashley Foster, even if you're a depth option, we need depth options on the O-line. So Foster is the pick, and a depth option he is. 76th in true talent, 74 overall, normal development at 23. So not a bad third round pick, especially when you saw some of the just disasters that teams were picking in the first round, let alone the second and third. I'm okay with that pick. And I think at this point, as Miles Morris was actually all right, we're going to trade away the rest of our third round options already. So let's see, we get a 4th and a 6th, a 3rd next year, and a 6th. That is too good to pass up from New Orleans. So we'll take a 3rd and a 6th. Let's do that. And we'll see who they end up getting with the pick. They get a 78. Henry Cooper was actually a 78. I imagine his development isn't as good as the quarterback that we took, but you never know. That might have ended up working out for him. 3rd round pick next year from Seattle. Seattle, Dallas. Yeah, we'll take that 3rd round pick next year from Seattle. Works for me. And let's go ahead and sim up to our next selection. Don't really care when it is at this point. We did our damage in the top end of this draft. Pick number 20 of the 4th round, of course. Let's see. Let's see who we can get for the biggest meme of a selection. The fullback I was looking at is off the board. 5th round talents. Let's take a look at these guys. So Keaston Savage, 5'8", fast as hell, agile, not bad. But again, that's the type of thing where it's like if you are able to keep up with him, you're going to outjump him in every situation. But that's not a bad option. Could be a good kick returner as well. Rico Neal, similar thing. He's 6'4". He's fast and can jump. Not that agile, but relatively strong too. Rico Neal might be worth taking too. Morris Pittman, 6'4", not fast at all, but can jump. I'd prefer Rico Neal, who again ran a 4.5. Pittman was at a 4.7, so I'm going to take Pittman off the board. And then Dawson Batten. Well, then again, Pittman might be decent as a tight end. Let me go back and back to available here. Morris Pittman. Even then, for him, it's 6'4" and he can jump. He's relatively strong. You know, as a tight end option, he might not be bad. Let's add him back to the board. I'd still say that Savage and Neal are better. And then Dawson Batten, 6 foot, ran a 4.5, not that agile. Yeah, Batten's going to be off the board. Okay, so Savage and Pittman are worth looking at. Even though this is the 4th round, might be worth taking them early. Tate's a 6th rounder, 5th rounder, 5th rounder. Oh, let's take a look, actually. At Karma Hopkins as a 5th round pick. Fast, agile. He's an agile type too. He's not that strong. He might not be bad for a depth option later on. And Bradley Olson at 6'6", not that strong and not that agile. You're off the board for sure. As you can see, our upcoming picks. We have 3 5th round picks. So let's take a look here. Who else do we have? We have Asa Jordan in the 6th round. Don't got to worry about that now. Ripkowski's still there. Who again, strong and agile. Not bad. Man, the linebacker depth that we could have. So as far as who we have here, nobody for the 4th round outside of Ripkowski. And you know what? We don't necessarily need him, but I think he's going to be all right, and that might allow us to move some other players. So I'm going to take Paul Ripkowski at a Pitt. It works for me. Why not? Bring in a little bit more linebacker depth. He's not that great, but again, he's depth, and I knew he would be. He's a 75 overall at 23 years old, normal development. So I'll take that. That replaces some of the outgoing players that we had to move to make some of those deals earlier. And we do have the first, actually we have another pick here and the first pick of the 5th round. So I think we're going to be looking at those wideouts. Savage and Rico Neal are the ones that I am the most interested in. Hopkins also wasn't that bad as an agile option. I should be able to make that work too. We're going to take the 2 wide receivers first, and then if Hopkins is available, he goes next. So we're going to take Keaston Savage. Might end up being a return specialist. Ooh, better than I thought. 75 overall at 21 years old with quick development. 48th in true talent. We got him at 124. That's not bad. That could be a major steal for us. Look at the speed as well. Just need to improve his actual ability. Kick return is an 88. There we go. So at the very least, he's going to be a return specialist and might be able to develop into more of a threat. Very solid pickup for us here at this point in the draft. I'm feeling really good about this draft. I mean, I feel like for the most part in this series, we've drafted well. But like I said, ever since and I know I mention him all the time, but I have to because it's the one that got away. But ever since the Stover incident, my confidence has been rocked. But I feel like we've done a good job of rebuilding it in this draft. I'm going to take Rico Neal, and I think even if we move him over to tight end, he could be great. He's relatively fast. He can jump. He's strong at 6'4", 21 years old. Rico Neal is the pick. And 101 in true talent. Took him at 129. 73 overall at 21 years old. So he has a chance to go into quick or star development. And if we move him over to tight end, that could be great. Look at the speed, the jumping, aggressive catch as well. That's not bad. He's not the worst blocker either. 79 kick return for someone of his height. I'll take that. That's a solid 5th round pick. That is a solid 5th round pick. Let's hope that lineman is still there. That would make things very easy for me. And he is not. Shit, he just went. They took him very early. So Pittman was here, but as a tight end conversion, I'm going to hold off because of who we just took. So let's take a look. So Fisher McIntosh. Let's just sort through all these guys. No, absolutely not. Just looking at those grades. Jordan Glaude ran a 4.6. No. Morris Sanu, another wide receiver, ran a 4.7. He can jump and he's strong, but no, we're fine. Dalton Tate, not bad. Good depth option. Asa Jordan, strong, agile, fast. Not bad as a depth option. Dalton Clark, ran a 4.5. He's agile too. Not a bad jump for someone 5'11". He's not too bad either. And then Antoine Price ran a 4.5, decent jump, decent agility. Okay, so how many picks do we have left? Not bad. So, if we could get a decent mix out of these guys, I'll do that. We'll take Dalton Tate first, just to get that offensive line depth. We take him a little bit early in the 5th round, but he's 88th in true talent. We took him at 134, 73 overall at 22 years old. Not bad. Normal development, but he might have a chance to get better because of how young he is. So that's a decent pickup for the O-line for us. I'm just intrigued at how much we're going to get burned by some of that bonus money that we're going to have to pay out for the early, 1st and 2nd rounders. Draft board, all positions. Wait, what? Was everybody I was interested in gone? Well, fuck. Okay, well, guys who are projected in the 6th round are off the board. We are done here. There was really no one else I was interested in. Wow, so a lot of guys just went off the board early. Like, I know Jared Hobson's there, but I'd rather just trade away these picks for next year. That's crazy. I've never seen so many of those guys go off the board so early. It's like I could take the risk on Hobson. Bartu. No. What about A.C. Brown? Absolutely not. I think we're probably good. That is pretty surprising. Morris Pittman's still there, but again, I already have guys that I plan on moving over to tight end aside from him. I'll still take him here. Let's take Morris Pittman. 71 overall. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. Whatever. It was worth a shot. We're going to trade away the rest of our draft picks. So that's pretty disappointing that so many guys I was interested in there for the final couple of rounds just ended up off the board all at once. Patriots are offering a 4th round pick next year. We'll definitely take that. A 4th for a 6th any day of the week. That gives them back-to-back picks. And our final selection here, 25th of the 7th round. We'll trade this away. And we'll get at least a 6th. Can we get a 5th? Yes, New England. Yes. You're so helpful. Thank you very much. So this episode will be remembered for a playoff victory. It'll also be remembered for a quiet free agency and one of our better drafts, perhaps? Tough to say. So again, we trade up to get Keaho. Pretty big bonus there and salary. We also trade up to get Lewis Bush. That's worth it. So you see the money that we're having to pay Bush and Keaho. That's going to get to be a tad bit expensive, but we still have cap room. The Riley, Harvey, and Olivier picks aren't as brutal. For the most part, though, I feel really good about our draft. And again, Olivier will more than likely be flipped. But considering he was still available when he was supposed to go early, it was worth it. And then as far as the first round is concerned, who were players that I was interested in? Newton, quick development for the 1st overall pick. Lewis Turner was the top running back. Quick development. Who else was I interested in? Keaho Winborn was someone I was looking at. Quick development. What about Sanchez Easy? Also quick development. Okay, so this might not have been the best draft. Rutland was solid. What about Burke? Yeah, there you go. I knew one of the 2 safeties were going to be incredible, but we had other needs at the time, and to be honest, I thought the lineman there that we took was going to be even better. Is Boatwright also that great? No. Well, he's good, but he's not at the same level. What about the tight end Byram? Quick development, not bad. I haven't seen many elite tight ends be drafted. So, there you go. Overall, a strong offseason for us, despite the limited free agency involvement. We will have to sort out this roster, of course. I'm going to have to rely on some free agents to fill everything out. But there will be moves made between episodes. Guys like Diaz are going to be on the way out. Olivier will be the backup this year. I'm not going to be able to move him until next year. So Hanson Erickson, of course, is still our guy. Running back-wise, it's pretty much the same setup with Kareem Hunt and Drico and Kang. Wide receiver-wise, we're still looking pretty good. I'm intrigued to see whether or not Neal or Pittman end up as tight ends, but Savage as well. What is he going to do? And Vaughn, Key, and Savage. You look at the speed, like our kick return and punt return setup is going to be monstrous. And of course, tight end-wise, we're already looking pretty good. And offensive line, it's going to be looking better than it's ever looked. I mean, the addition there of Bush, Stemke, Deion Dawkins is actually going to be a depth option for us. He might be traded just to free up some money. And then how this defense shapes up with some of the options here. Someone's getting traded. Maybe Jonathan Allen, maybe Shaq Lawson. Like, I don't know. But people are going to be on the move. And then linebacker-wise as well, we're still looking good, especially with the addition of Riley. There's a chance of us switching from a 3-4 to a 4-3, perhaps. I'm not sure. Riley might be a beast of a middle linebacker to play behind Shazier. And corner-wise, still looking pretty good. Still looking pretty good. Safety-wise, we're still looking all right. After a bit of a disappointing playoff exit, needless to say, we're still going to be in a competitive mode heading into next season. Guys, we will end it there. It's been a bit of a marathon. I thank you very much for watching this episode and supporting this series. I'm still having a blast with it. Hopefully, though, the success can start to come before we start to lose some major pieces to this team. Let me know how you think I did in terms of how I handled the off season. I'm intrigued to know. And for now, that'll do it. So you know the deal. Support the video, support the channel, support me. Check out everything in the description, the notification bell, the things and the such. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.